Okay, so as I say, the term contributor is applied to anybody who makes a contribution, but we actually recognise people who are not necessarily full-time on Egeria, but they do make regular small contributions over a period of time that are additive. You know, they add value over time. And there is a company called Creedly, I think it's called, and they have things called acclaim badges, and these are publicly available badges that a company, an organisation can award to recognise somebody with a certain skill. And so we have two. One is for the contributor, and basically any maintainer can nominate a person to win the contributor badge. And they basically send a note to our director, and he awards the badge to the individual. The people who have this badge are in. That means is why I always end up with a million tabs. They are all recognised here in our contributors section. That's the contributor badge. You are also allowed to put it on your mail closing information, LinkedIn profile, and all that sort of thing. If you work for IBM, we have an equivalent, and IBM will also award you a badge if you're a contributor, and that's part of the open source badging program. But this particular one, the Egeria Contributor, is open to anybody who contributes to the public Egeria project. So that's the contributor piece. The real responsibilities of any contributor is to follow our developer guidelines that we covered right at the beginning of this session. So that's really it. This is the end of day 2. We've done very well. We've finished it in a lot less time. So really, are there any questions? You want to do the questions here? What would you like to do next? Okay, so silence is golden. So I'm going to come back to the front page and do a little advert for tomorrow, and then we finished. So what we're going to do on day 3 is we have a number of sessions where we're going to have people who are Egeria advocates and maintainers in the first 2 sessions, and they're going to talk about their experiences of doing these roles with Egeria, so as I say, come along and listen. If you've got questions on different parts of Egeria, this is a good time to talk to the experts on the project in these 2 sessions. After that, I'm going to go do a 90-minute session, which is on the underlying detail. So I showed you that picture of that sort of stack chart of all the components. And so this session is going to go into the detail of how the cohort works, how the access services sit on top, how the whole thing fits together inside the OMEG server platform, then how the servers sit around the outside. So this is a deep discussion on the internals of Egeria, which you need to know if you want to start changing the underlying modules. And then if there's anybody left, our final session is what we call the Egeria Social, and we will just be online. So if you want to come along and just talk to us normally, or and talk about any topic, that is the last session for tomorrow. So tomorrow is about talking to people in the community and learning a little bit more about the technology.